又到了新的一天了啊！昨天在家里找了很多书，把我的字典找到了，这是我上学时候用的字典，英汉小字典。然后找了一些之前买的一些参考书，还有一些绘画的英文，还有一些英文的散文，还有是中英成语，还有一些我之前学的一些课本。其实目的只有一个，那就是督促自己去坚持，因为你有这样一个计划的话，你就应该去按这个计划去做。我觉得这个时候不管你出现什么问题，或者说不管你遇到什么困难，需要的就是这种精神，一种坚持不懈的精神，一种不怕困难的精神。虽然过程很艰难，但是呢，不变的是那颗坚持的心。好的，今天我们读的这篇文章其实跟我现在的状态有关系，那就是 relax and live， 就是休息和生活。It is commonly believed that only rich Middle Ages businessmen suffer from stress. In fact, anyone may become ill as a result of stress if they experienced a lot of worry over a long period, and their health is not particularly good. Stress can be a friend or an enemy. It can warn you that you are under too much pressure and should change your way of life. It can kill you if you don't notice the warning sign signals. In this unit, you will hearing George Anderson talking about stress. You will also hear 3 case studies about stress and some of the ways that it can help people to relax. George Anderson is a psychologist. He talks about what stress does to our bodies and what we can do about stress. When we are very frightened and worried, our bodies contain chemicals to help us fight what is troubling us. Unfortunately, these chemicals produce the energy needed to run away fast from an object of fear. And in modern life, that's often impossible. If we don't use up these chemicals, or if we produce too many of them, they may actually harm us. The parts of the body that are most affected by stress are the stomach, heart, skin, head, and back. Stress can cause car accident, heart attacks, and alcoholism, and may even drive people to suicide. Our living and working conditions may put us under stress. Overcrowding in large cities, traffic jams, competition for jobs, uncertain about the future and big change in our lives may be stressful. Some British doctors have pointed out that one of Britain's worst flu waves came within weeks of the country changing to dismal coinage. Also, if you have changed jobs or moved the house in recent months, you are more likely to fall ill than you haven't. And more people commit suicide in times of inflation. As with all illness, prevention is better than cure. A very common danger signal is the inability to relax. When you are taking work home, when you can enjoy an evening with friends, when you have time for outdoor exercise, that is the time to stop and ask yourself whether your present life really suits you. Says one family doctor, then it is time to join a relaxation class and take up dancing, painting, and gardening. James Taylor, a student, woke up at 2 a.m. after sleeping badly and discovered that his body was covered in red lump. He had never suffered from anything like this before, but being a final year medical student, he knew the likely cause. Suddenly, for the first time in his life, Two major stresses that occurred at the same time. He was under great pressure preparing for his exams, and the girl he was in love with had just left him. Fortunately, he was able to see the funny side of the situation, and his sense of humor helped him to recover. Of course, most people would not be as knowledgeable as he was and would be more frightened by the appearance of red lumps. After working 15 years for a building firm, Bill Pearson was given the responsible position of area manager. He had to master a lot of new information and spend some of his evening and weekends in different parts of the country. He didn't really like his job, but he owed money on his new house, and he didn't want to disappoint his wife by giving up his new position. Bill had always been a quiet, home-loving man, but after a few months in the job, his personality changed. He became bad-tempered, continually criticized his wife's cooking and complained of pain in his stomach. But Bill Pearson was lucky. He managed to persuade his firm to give him his old job back. He began to enjoy life again and gradually recovered. Sarah Lawson, a young mother, had two small children under 5. She had recently moved to the suburbs of a small town in southern England. Her husband was often away on business, and she had to manage the children and home on her own. 6 months after she developed a bad headache which lasted for 24 hours. I just didn't know what to do. Finally, I phoned the doctor, who came around immediately and gave me something to take away the pain. A week later, I became terrified at the thought of going out to do my shopping. I ordered everything I needed by phone and had it delivered. I knew I couldn't continue like this forever, and the day came when I just had to go out. My son needed some new shoes. I dressed the children, picked up the car keys, and burst into tears. Luckily, my husband rang, realized that something was seriously wrong, and rushed home from the other side of the country. The doctor advised Sarah to have a complete break from the children. They were sent to her mother, and a social worker helped her to make some friends. Her husband considered changing his job, but this proved unnecessary since Sarah had now met other young mothers could share her worries with. There are plenty of ways we can help ourselves to relax and enjoy life and beat the enemy stress. Here's how some of the people relax. Benny Wheeler, doctor. When I feel I'm under stress, I ride my bike up a very steep hill and then go home and fall asleep. And Walker, secretary. Go shopping. The moment I walk into shop, all the pressures disappear. I become so interested in finding something nice. Recently, though, my bank refused to give me an other checkbook because I was so overdrawn. Murray Baker, newspaper reporter. I talked to my dog. He's very understanding. I tell him absolutely everything and experienced a great sense of relief as he looks at me with his kind brown eyes. Peter Wills, teacher. I sometimes feel very tense in the evenings after school, so I phone a friend and have a long political argument with him. If he's not in, I record an argument on my tape recorder, imagining what his replies would be. Peter Matthews, lawyer. I get on with some rug making. I brought bold designs in wool and gave the ranks to friends for Christmas. John Hutchins, businessman. I get into a warm bath and lie there for an hour, listening to Mozart. A cheaper way for an worker to relax and for anyone else who suffers from tension and stress is to do simple exercise regularly. You can do the following exercise at home or even in the office. Exercise 1. Standing. Purpose to make waiting for a bus or standing in queens more bearable. Stand with your feet slightly apart, taking your weight on the balls of your feet. With your knees bent a fraction, you can stand comfortably for quite a long time. Your shoulders should be back and down, with your arms hanging loosely. Exercise 2. Sitting. Purpose to rest the whole body and relieve tension, especially around the eyes. Sit well back in the chair so that the back of the chair supports the base of your spine. Place your elbows directly under your shoulders and support them on a cushion on the table. Then rest your bones on your cupped hands. Keep your eyes closed. The longer you do is the better. Even 1 minute will help to relax tension. Exercise 3. Lying. Purpose total relaxation, both as an excellent way of refreshing yourself during the day and also as an ideal preparation for sleep. Lie on the floor, eyes closed, legs and feet fully relaxed, arms loosely out to the sides, palms upwards. Starting at the toes, think in turn of every part of the body, letting go completely and pay special attention to areas of particular tension. 学会去处理压力，学会去让压力转换成另外一种快乐的形式，帮助你更好的休息或者说放松是非常必要的。所以呢，压力肯定会有，每个人都会有压力，重要的是怎么去找方式去让自己平静下来。那么我认为阅读就是一种方式。